Welcome, everybody, to the VAIL VRML EU Season 4 Double Elimination Bracket. It's the fourth day of this Double Elimination Bracket and the second weekend for us in this Season 4 postseason, and it's not the end. We got semifinals and grand finals next weekend, so there's still plenty of VAIL EU postseason action. But we are getting into the losers bracket today. The two rounds of the losers bracket, Relentless EU and Ascending, and Asterix versus DNA, both battling it out in a best of three for a chance to advance on to go up against the loser of the semifinals game, which will be played out on Saturday. A lot of road to go still for whoever ends up winning through this series. They're likely going to have to go up. They're going to have to go up against maybe Ascendancy again if Ascendancy loses in their semifinals match. I'm trying to remember who else won on the EU side to the finals. I had the bracket in front of me, but now I don't. It's so sad. But if you are just tuning in, this is our post-season. It's been 12 to 13 weeks of regular season gameplay where these teams were seeded by playing a matchup against each other each week. And sorry, I was just trying to see if I could figure out what's each week, and as they play each week, they go up or down in rank in that regular season ladder. When it comes time for postseason, we do a double elimination tournament, and we took the top, I believe, 12 seeded teams in the EU and pitched them up against each other. Or no, 14. 8, 9, 10, 12, I was right. 12 seeded teams in the EU and put them into a double elimination bracket. Some of these teams got seeded where they got a bye day. They didn't have to play the first round. But what we are seeing here is from, at the very least, the Ascending side, a climb up through the losers bracket, beating Sunset Ravens in their 10th. Might have this right? I'm looking at it old. There we go. Ascending losing to Asterix, excuse me. Going to the losers bracket, winning against URC, beating Sunset Ravens, and now going up against the number 1 seed Relentless EU. It's been a long road for them, to say the least, in this double elimination bracket, but I'm very curious to see what we're going to get from them going up against this Relentless EU squad. Asterix beat Vanguard Gaming. Am I correct in that? If I am, I believe. No, wait. No, Asterix lost to Vanguard Gaming because they're playing today against DNA. And Asterix beat Ascending. Relentless EU lost to Ascendancy. You know, you can do like the if you lose to this, I win to that sort of scenario math in your head. And I think it puts us in a pretty good even place, honestly, for what this matchup could be. Relentless EU were looking very strong against Ascendancy, but Ascendancy was coming in with a different sort of momentum, a different energy into their rounds. They had really good focus and strats on Cliff's side. I was very impressed with what we were seeing from them there. And then, again, throughout the rest of their series, winning it 2-0 was very impressive. We'll see what Ascending and Relentless EU do here against each other, though, as we do get ready to dive into our first map in this best of three. It's going to be on Suna Night to kick things off. On the defense, we have Relentless EU. On the attack, it's Ascending, and we're diving into round one of our losers bracket matchup, our double elimination tournament. Both teams suffering a loss. Relentless EU against Ascendancy just yesterday. Already an early nade there from Abita. Looks like A-site definitely on the menu. And Abita popping out of the smoke, finds some contact, goes down to Hunter, who's opened up A-site just a touch, but not really quite enough. Relentless EU with 3 left alive here. On to the retake. Scanner stranded. It needs reinforcements, and it's not going to find it. It's going to be too late for when Jelly Meat Vape pops out, and now they're going to go into that 1v3. They have to avoid being surrounded, and that's just not going to happen with coordination from Relentless EU. A lot of half HP survivors, but 3 left alive on their pistol round. Not necessarily dominant. A decent entry there from Ascending, but a very solid opener. And let me go ahead and reset my scores. We get ready to dive in to round 2. Uh-oh, and a little disconnect, unfortunately, there for Ascending. Not what you need to see, especially from the person carrying the scanner. I actually don't know if they have a scanner available to them now. Billiam picks up a double down that main hallway. TTV Deimos is tucked into the back of A-site already. Reinforcements from Jack are here. Oh, and that's a good draw, good distraction coming in from Jack, but Tabs is tucked in way back here in Tabs. With Billiam finishing things off, come together for the 1-2 punch, and Relentless EU put another point on the board for map 1. I do believe they subbed someone in there between the first 2 rounds. They do have a 5th connected, and they do have scanner in hand this time, so they have a different approach this round. Still A-side as Tabs takes down Deli. Abita scooping up Deimos here. They will get punished for swinging too wide, though. Hunter finds that kill. 4v3 with decent control up the middle here from Jack. Able to kind of shut down the rotation. If it does come to A side, I feel like they're in a great position to push A in that 2v1 against Billiam. Rotation is coming in, though, and very likely going to run into Tabs here, who's somehow found himself in between 2 attackers. Here's the footsteps behind. Quickly tucks in. Springs out for a 1-for-1 trade.
30 seconds remain.
Go on board Jack, who's hearing a lot of footsteps around them. Hawaii peeks out, spots the crawl, scoops up the kill. Scanner rotating wide. "15 seconds left. They have to push site. Scanner does get planted. Drop off the cliff. Kind of nice here and tuck into the corner. Oh, and if they would known Accurate was coming in from the top corner, they could have started that 1v3 with that first kill there, but Accurate scoops it up. Relentless EU interrupt the Scanner, but Scanner gets planted for, I think, the first time in the series.
Round starting.
Maybe a little rhythm that can be settled into here for Ascending now that they've got their 5 online and locked in. Kind of hard to go into the pistol round and lose one and have to fill it quick. And Ooh, and Deimos with the first opening kill accurate with a quick refrag. Team quickly rotating here over towards B, and they're going to try and push up and in to Kawhi's position. Jelly meets Vape finds that kill, but they've got control over site pretty nicely here. Scanner goes down quick, and the retake is on 4v3. And Axe with a huge opening kill. Quick refrag keeps it 2-3, but they're still solid on the defensive setup here. Good pickups from Jack and a quick 1-2 from Kawhi inaccurate. Open up the scanner for interrupt with 15 seconds left. A solid retake again from Relentless EU, locked in on their defensive half here.
Round starting.
You know, I think back to Relentless EU's matchup just yesterday against Ascendancy. I think 9-6, 9-7 in a 2-0. Ooh, another disconnect there for Hunter. At least they weren't holding the scanner this time. Obviously 4v5. Pretty tough here pushing up. Tabs and Abita finding kills. Jelly with a refrag. Jack trying to do some work here. Jelly about to run into some quick corner fire here. Kawhi with a nice pickup. Oh, and I love that nade. Holy cow, that was sweet. Perfectly tossed. Jack sees the tuck in here onto the corner. Smoke to allow the rotation off. And now they have the Overwatch. Scanner with 30 seconds left has to go B site here. And a big swing out. Jack has to start moving. Now they're caught up in this smoke. They have to pop out. Flashes hit as soon as they do, and Billiam there on the Overwatch. The duo. Tabs low HP, but not quite dead, and Hunter's reconnected, so they're back to 5. But a tough opener here, and I mean, kills coming in still from the ascending side. Contesting and finding refrags, it just does come down to those. I mean, they've gotten the scanner down twice. I don't know, what do we consider Suna more offensive sided? Deimos cracks open A. Tabs shut down before they can do any significant damage, and the pinch coming in. Kawhi, though, opens up things for themselves. They shut down B side, A side, and now it's just a duo at B. Oh, make it just a solo as Hunter disconnects. Seems like they are having some issues on the ascending side here. Ooh, and Billiam with an opening double right through the smoke. Amos with a nice refrag. They are sprinting quick. They're going to get back, tucked into the back side of A. Nice trade there. Does set up the 1v1, but it's going to be Accurate that wins it. Relentless EU looking a lot like
Round starting.
Acer from NA yesterday. A dominant opening performance from them in the top 8 single elimination tournament. And they actually went up against Relentless of all teams, so it's I don't know, maybe they've been watching, maybe they've been learning. I think Relentless EU is just a very, I mean, obviously an 11-1 team in the regular season. Very, very solid team. #1 seeded for a reason. I think the upset really just was that Ascendancy ended up taking that best of 3 at all yesterday. That was a big surprise. That was a really nice game from Ascendancy. Not Ascending or Ascenders, not to be mistaken. William finds one there. Annex getting shut down. A-Site still getting pushed nicely here. Ooh, and a good swing to Jelly meets Vape. That's 2 of 4. Jack and Deimos also low. But Billiam, a slice of HG. Kawaii watching from the oversight, catches the rotation out. And Deimos can't win the trade against Tabs.
We're switching sides.
Perfect half for Relentless EU. And we swap sides now into the pistol round, and maybe not having the additional player has impacted them a little bit, but it's all about survival on Suna Night for them from here on. Ooh, and even after the Ensign, Tabs still comes out ahead, finds a kill before going down. Kawaii Angle on the back line shuts down the heavy flank. Abita picking off Hunter. Billiam finds Jack, and it's a perfect Relentless EU half to open up this loser's bracket best of 3. And that's tough to be down a player here and there, to have those disconnect issues. That does not make things easy when you're going up against the #1 seed. You kind of want things to go your way, to be working well for you, on a game level first, and then, it's, I mean, who knows what the issues are over there, but hopefully they can do something about it going into map #2. Either way, Relentless EU most certainly looking like they want to be playing again next weekend. And we could be on to our next best of 3 in a quick hop, skip, and a jump. Asterix and DNA are up next on the list for our losers bracket finals, or losers bracket series here. And again, loser is done. Season's over. No chance of moving on. I do believe we may have gone into a pause for Ascending. See if they can bring in a 5th, but taking a quick look at the KDs. Billiam 12-3, Kawaii 9-2. Some standout shooting right there from that duo. A very solid opening map 1 from Relentless EU, especially coming off of that loss. Very impressive to see. And I think we're slowly getting everyone back in lobby, so May not have to cut to break. And we can just stick around and dive into map 2. Later today at 2 p.m. PST, we have 2 best of 5s for NA. Reminder to keep an eye out for that. I think those are going to be the 2 best top 8 matches. Because you're looking at the closest in seeding. I think it's seeds 4 and 5 and 3 and 7 or something like that. Going up against each other, so. Seeds 4 and 6. I don't know. But should be a solid couple of matchups there on the NA side of things, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I do think we are going to go into a timeout. We'll be back with map number 2 in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's the start of the Losers Bracket series, and we've got more to come after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are here for round number 2 of this best of 3 between Relentless EU and Ascending in the losers bracket. It is do or die for the Ascending team, and Relentless EU have come out very strong with an absolute dominant Suna performance at night. We're heading straight to another night map, Miru, to see if we're going to go to our first best of 3 here of the weekend. All we've had is best of 2s across the board. Some great best of 2s earlier in the winners bracket, though. I'm really happy we got to cast both those matches. And now we go back into the action for, again, Ascending versus Relentless EU with Billiam, Kawaii, Tabs, Accurate, and Abita on Relentless, and Annex, Hunter, Jack, Deimos, and Jelly on Ascending. Good opener for Billiam there, catching Deimos. The Annex goes down, the pistol round going well for this offense, and now as they have the player advantage, they can storm through and overwhelm Jack, the sole survivor.
Round starting.
And Ascending continues to be plagued by issues. Relentless EU opening up strong. And now going into another 5v4. It's, you know, if every other round is a 5v4, it makes it very hard, especially on defense, to put up a solid hold, let alone against the number 1 seed in the region. Not what you're looking for here in your potentially final series of the regular season. Big kills coming in. Jack catches one with a nade, holding things down for now. One Tab's tucked into the smoke. And after coughing up a lung from being inside, they tuck back in. Jack's still here after Scanner goes down. Now the duo, Deimos and Jack, gonna try and retake. Nice 1-2 there. They've got the 2v1 in front of them. There's an opportunity to interrupt Scanner and then take down this final defender. They've got to get to Scanner, though, now. And Deimos has to hold things down here. It's a good smoke. It's denying vision. Deimos swings out and finds the kill. They have to sprint back and can't get to Scanner in time. The closest round Ascending have been to taking a point and putting it on the board. Still goes to Relentless EU in the final seconds. They subbed out Hunter for Carnage. Maybe that 5th, obviously, would be helpful. Miru, typically a 60-40 defensive map, so already 2 points into Relentless's hands is a solid opening for Relentless. Ascending can bounce back. That was a good defense and a nice hold. It just quite go their way there. And now we're on board Deimos here, who should be running into some resistance up through the middle shortly, and they'll go down to Abita. East site definitely on the menu as utility comes flying in, connecting across the board. As Jelly finally hits from the flank, we'll see if the duo can pinch properly. A decent bit of 1-2 in there. A nice coordination. Tabs catches Annex with half HP, and Relentless EU continue to go undefeated. unanswered. Quick shout out to some folks in chat. I see NeuroVR saying, "Hey Nightfire, I'm your biggest fan." Thank you so much. GVR, Mustached Miner, Sandy, Population High, Chris Nis, Thief VR. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, hanging out, and enjoying the action. Utility coming out here. Billiam Annex, a swing wide there from Abita. Carnage with a double kill post-mortem. Welcome into the lobby. Picks up 2. Abita says, "I'll find 2 myself." And it comes down to Jelly meets Vape in the 1v2. Scanners down. Full HP. Abita in the smoke, and Jelly, rightfully so, not shooting up above it. As they're distracted, Kawaii pops out and finds the kill, and
Round starting.
because we can see through the smoke, we know, but 4-0 opening here. Map number 2 going as equally fast as map 1, if not faster, because they're on the attack. And a decent opening here. Carnage again finding another kill. Shutting down Billiam, getting over aggressive. Scanner hasn't gone down yet, and they're into a 2v3. And nearly connects onto Annex. Hawaii's pushed up onto site. Has to actually pick up the scanner. And then plant it. Gets a little fire for it, and Carnage finds another kill. Tabs shuts down Deimos up through the middle, and it's now up to Tabs in a 1v2. 55 seconds left to work with. This could be the first round for Ascending on the board, unless Tabs has anything to say about it. Carnage has popped into the lobby and gone 4-2 to open up this first half. Maybe exactly what this Ascending team needed. See if it's what they need to get their first point.
30 seconds remaining.
Creeping and crawling. 20 seconds left. Tabs finds Annex. And what discipline. Do they see Carnage? I don't think so. And I don't know what their plan was time-wise, but
Starting. Get ready.
Relentless EU do not take the round. And Ascending put one on the board. They're first in this best of 3 series. They go 4-4 on the half. It's not too bad. You know, it's manageable. 4 rounds on attack though. That's still impressive enough. Relentless EU coming out very strong early. Carnage goes down. A nice nade there. Deimos can't find Kawaii. The push in ends in a 1-for-1 trade between 2 players, and Scan gets planted. Jelly trying to push around for the flank. Doesn't quite catch this rotation. Does catch the rotation from Accurate. Jack catches Kawaii. And now there's a pinch coming through onto Tabs from both sides. Jack not ready for Tabs here, though. Jelly is, though. And now Jelly has information. Scanners down. Jump check from Tabs gives them details. Flash out over the top. And Jelly connects with the kill as a second point for Ascending.
Scan interrupted. Round starting.
Settling into a defensive rhythm, and now it's time for Relentless EU to start changing things up. We saw a lot of really great variety and aggression coming in from Relentless EU. Yesterday against Ascendancy, really good coordination, trying to switch up their pacing, their tempos, trying to throw off their opponent with a lot of different strategies. And I thought that was a lot of fun to tune into. And I don't know that they've felt the need to deploy a bunch of different strategies quite yet against this squad. Maybe now they're going to try a quick push. Jelly kind of reading that this is coming in fast and drops back for a second. Swings out for one. A nice late peek to catch the kill. Demo's still alive inside, trying to get some nades and utility out, trying to rotate back to the corner. Gonna get scooped up as Jack finds the refrag. Scan gets planted, and it's all up to Jack, who tries to, and does, catch accurate on the rotation out. A very nice kill that sets us up for the 1v1, an opportunity to take 3 rounds in a row here if Jack can clutch this up. Hawaii peeks out, and finally, Relentless EU connect with more points.
Round starting. Get ready.
The camera volunteer here. Cat tax has been paid, and we go into the 8th round. Here comes the push, full on press, pistol round here, as we do. Oh no, sorry, we're on 8th round, not the side swap yet. Sorry. Now we go to the pistol round. I jumped the gun. Relentless EU with a 6-2 offensive half, pretty strong. Pretty good outcome for them. Sets them up for what feels like likely success in map 2 and for the rest of this series. Came back for more, but can't show him now because we got to get into the action. Early pistol round, early aggression from Avita. They are tucked in deep behind enemy lines. Finds one, peeks out for more. Connects with 2, drops back to the smoke for a reload, but Jack finally shuts it down. Accurate, and the rest of this Relentless EU defense come alive on the back line on the pistol half, and 2 to go. Relentless EU advance on. They'll go up against the loser of Ascendancy and Vanguard Gaming, which will get played out Saturday of next weekend. We'll go from that series down to a best of 5. We're getting into best of 5s next weekend, so that'll be exciting as well. Billiam's been a great shooter so far for the squad. 9 and 6 here in map 2 with a dominant, I think 12 or 13 and 4 in map 1. Finds scanner, tacks on a kill. Is behind enemy lines, picks up 2. Jelly's trying to wait for the rest of this team to push up and get aggressive, and they're going to find timing, but only for 1. And the Chaos Carnage finds that everyone's pushing in on them. Abita, Tabs, and the rest of this Relentless EU squad being relentless. In map number 2 here, a point away from taking this series. And again, moving on to a best of 5 next weekend. One round away from Ascending being eliminated, and they will have reached the top height that they can reach. They will have ascended. They'll be done ascending. Nice flash out of the smoke. Taz flies in. Carnage picks up the kill. Sending has the scanner and plants it at B site. It's a 2v2. Maybe they can put on a few more points here. They're not letting go of this map quite yet, and I love to see that from this Ascending squad. Oh, and Kawhi times it just right. Catches Carnage. The kill from Abita. That will be it. The final defense mounted from Relentless EU this weekend. They will be taking this series 9-2 in 2 maps, just like that. And we prepare for our next best of 3. Asterix versus DNA is coming up in a few minutes from now, so do get ready for that. But let's just digest how Relentless EU bounced back off of a tough day against Ascendancy. They played so good and so consistent there that they then brought that in, quite frankly, to this next matchup here against Ascending. And Ascending maybe weren't warmed up, and they'd had that week to wait to play. Who knows? But the big guy agrees. And a solid performance from Relentless EU here this evening. We're going to go take a quick break and get ready for our next matchup. The winner here... No, how does this work? Yeah, the winner here goes up against the winner of Asterix versus DNA. That's the way that this goes. And then the winner of that matchup goes up against the loser of Ascendancy and Vanguard Gaming. The winner of that goes up against the winner of Ascendancy and Vanguard Gaming. So we have a few games left ahead of us. Like I said, next weekend, going to have 4 best of 5, Saturday and Sunday. A lot to look forward to. A lot of action ahead of us here. Even today, we've got Asterix and DNA coming up. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more EU postseason double elimination bracket. Welcome back, everybody, to the VAIL VRML EU Season 4 Double Elimination Bracket. My name's Nightfire with 2 E's, and if you're just joining us, you missed a quick, relentless round, best of 3 between Relentless EU and Ascending. We're Ascending no longer, they're ascended. They've ascended to the highest they will go in the regular season, and a 2-0 win in a best of 3 from that Relentless EU squad. We now go to, again, a bit more of a closer seeded matchup, one that I'm looking forward to here, Asterix versus DNA. I believe, I have to check if this is a rematch. Let me look at the whole kit and caboodle here. No, Asterix went up against Ascending. DNA went up against Ascendancy. And then DNA beat Academy, Ascenders, and Ascending beat URC and Sunset Ravens. So they've eliminated 2 teams already through the Lunars bracket, both of these squads. And I anticipate this is going to be maybe the one that takes us to a best of 3 out of all of the series that we will be having this weekend. Next weekend, I think the best of 5s are going to be really good. I think that's going to be very close. That's going to be a really good back and forth. But I'm anticipating a solid one here this afternoon, barring we don't have any major issues, you know, any headsets breaking or anything like that. But I do think that it should be an exciting back and forth. We are just waiting on both teams to get ready and jump into that lobby, but it does give us an opportunity to take a quick look at the matchup and match history between these 2 teams. Asterix won during the regular season last time they faced off against each other, 27-10. Both teams around and new this season. Players, not so sure on. I have to dig into the roster. I'm sure there's some veterans there. Either way, you don't get to that 3rd and 5th place spot without a lot of hard work. And it's absolutely what we've seen from Asterix and DNA. Both of them eliminating against Sunset Ravens Academy, URC, and Ascending. All getting knocked out. So technically we're down to our final 4, I think. But we have everyone in lobby, so map number 1 of this best of 5, or 3, excuse me, should be starting soon. And again, I just want to say I appreciate everyone stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying the action today. It's been a lot of fun watching these matchups, and we're going to a very interesting place here for our first map of Asterix versus DNA. It is indeed going to be a map we don't have an intro for, but it's not the map you're thinking. Frio is where we go for our first map, not Cliffside, to kick things off, and an absolute chaos, I think, is the best way I can describe Frio, even at a competitive level. And maybe that's what Asterix, maybe that's what DNA want to try and lean into, is just thriving on the chaos. Pistol round opener here. We have on the defense. Double check rosters. The Asterix team, yes indeed, DNA on the attack, and Screw-In, Silent Platoon barreling in here. And overwhelming this attack. It's up to F, who finds 2. But not before Screw-In wins with a knife kill. 2 left alive on the attack there. Or on the defense, excuse me. It felt like the for Asterix. And a solid opener, map 1, round 1 on defense. They snagged the first round. Pistol round's a little chaotic, and especially on a map like this, every round, again, going to be chaotic. So we'll see what the rollout here for DNA looks like now with rifles in hand. Utility Screw-In picks up a double as they tried to rotate that scanner over towards B. Got caught out on the cross. We're waiting to see if AF and team can do anything. Mushroom hears scanner down here as AF catches Silent. A big rotation coming in from Sandy on the backside as Alex casts his Mushroom. Sandy scoops up once. Her ultimate goes down, but it's an alarm bell for the rest of the team, and Sandy can't keep pushing here or they're at risk. Now the duo trying to collapse on him, trying to find this pick. It's a risky play. 3/4 cover here for Sandy puts them in an advantage in this scenario as the flash flies over the top. Feels like they're pressing. Farrell is trying to reinforce their teammate from this other flank, and the pinch here coming in with utility from both sides and a nice 1-2 punch from Sandy and Farrell's.
Starting.
He wants to be back on camera. What can I do? I've got to show him off. He's so lovely. Screw-In's been doing some good killing up through the mid here. Trades 1-for-1 across that back end. So ultimate flies wide, looks for one, has to reload, and Screw-In finds that kill on the bottom floor. It does leave Lime Juice alone with Scanner down on their side, and the rest of this team collapsing around them. 1-for-1 trade, and it puts Asterix in a 3-0 position on defense here.
Starting. Get ready.
DNA having a hard time finding footing on Frio, and I think rightfully so. This map is chaotic. I feel like it's kind of a 50-50 on just like percentage on where it goes. It could go 100% one way or 100% the other. It's a guessing game. And Screw-In opens things up again from that opening kill on that top lane. Really nicely done. They're going to get past Screw-In into this midfield here and try and push up towards B. A nice nade onto Silent, doesn't quite catch the kill, and Chaos in the back end as Silent has smokes and flashes utilized here to rotate around the edge of this smoke as AF and Alex are alone in a 2v4. As soon as the smoke dissipates, Silent Platoon has the angle and they'll find that kill. They'll swing wide for the double and they'll scoop it up.
Round starting.
Asterix out the gate 4-0. I don't have enough experience with Frio to know, what side it goes typically. You guys fill me in. Let me know. Nicely lob nade there from AF, and a good draw here towards B side. Does put Sandy alone in a 1v3, and Ultimate's going to kick things off with that kill. Mushroom here able to rotate back over towards A from their top side cover. So there is still somebody here defending, but it's now a 4v2. Farrell's on the rotation back towards site. Gonna connect with Mushroom to try and push up onto this duo. A big swing around from Ferals here as Mushroom kicks things off. Scanner goes down. But the duo pushing in here, 1-for-1 trade. Leaves Mushroom alone in a 1v2, Scanner down. Alex finally cleans things up, and
Round starting. Get ready.
a point for DNA on the attack is on the board. Took a little time, but it got there. Site worked well last time, so now they're stacking a little bit heavier into a little more resistance. Sandy finds the first kill this time, makes it a single. Ultimate again with the refrag. Screwin quickly finds one up through the center. Mushroom here in a position to swing wide if they want to. If they don't want to drop off this high angle. Screwin, on the other hand, could be a pinching factor from the bottom floor here. As they take shots, they give away their position. Alan Platoon also swinging wide here. Are they aware of Sir Ultimate tucked in? As they get super exposed here. Knife comes out and Sir Ultimate swings. Alex, Afghan, all finding kills, and it puts Mushroom alone on side again. 3v2, and Scanner redirected from A site for a B side swing. Cost Alex their life, but B is completely empty. Their Ultimate's going to be able to be in a position to catch the rotations to defuse. And they got to be careful on these rotations out. Oh, a nice pick there from Ferals on the cross. They do take a good chunk of damage, so it's the setup here for AF in the 1v2. Very manageable. No utility really left for this duo, so they have to work on their coordination. Naf finds the first. Ferals goes down. Af now very low. Mushroom baiting out the scanner interrupt. Naf knows this because they hear the footsteps and the sprinting around and the pop out for the trade, and it goes the way of DNA because scanner has been planted. 4-2. A bounce back here for DNA on the offense. Not easy bounce back, but a bounce back nonetheless. One trade back and forth. Mushroom tucks back in. A side on the menu. Sandy been a thorn in the side of this defense, or of this offense here every time on this side. And as they've stalled out this push, Alex gets caught out in the open, tries to draw the gun up in time and can't, and Lime Juice thankfully hadn't committed too heavily to this push as Ferals does drop back. And yeah, they're learning from their past mistakes of letting B side get planted on. A bit of a rotation coming through here to make sure B is still well defended. And I like the rotation off. It feels a little obvious that B is the play. The read is very much that B is the play, but I like this reverse swing they've just done. They already deployed the rotation B side once. Sandy anticipated that B was coming, so they did a full commit, dropped off of this angle that they were supposed to cover, and now A side is open completely for a scanner to go down. And even with the nade over the top, it's now a 2v3. Retake here for the trio. Oh, Lime Juice tries to pull the knife out in close quarters, can't quite connect with it. Af alone now on the defense, has to tuck back. finds the opportunities for the 1v1s, but can't connect with them, and Asterix finally put a defensive point back on the board.
Scan interrupted.
There have been 2 unanswered so far from DNA.
Round starting. Get ready.
And Mushroom getting aggressive here. Ultimate catches Sandy on that flank right away, and that's going to crack open this push very quickly. Mushroom is the only one here to defend, but they're still here. Tucked into the smoke. They swing out for more. They find 2, not before getting picked up by Alex on the back end. Alex swings for Screwin, but Screwin's there to pick them off, and it's a 2v3. Blink and you miss it. The round goes just like that into Asterix's hands, and we swap sides for a pistol round. 6-2 in map 1 here on Frio. And now Screwin showing off their ladder skills. Very impressive. Oh my, the double from Silent Platoon almost ends in a triple. Scanner does go down. 2 left alive on defense. Sandy still here holding the fort as Ultimate with full HP goes up against the 1 HP of Sandy. Asterix looking to take a opening pistol round point, but they won't happen. And a really key, honestly, start here for DNA on defense.
Scan interrupted.
Chips away at that 4-point lead.
Round starting.
Sets them up with a little momentum going into their next round, and a nice start to the side swap and the half for them. I said at the start of the map, I really don't know which way this map leans, the defensive or offensive side. I feel like it's kind of it's more like a random dice roll on how it goes. Ooh, Barrels comes flying out. Catches 1, but not everybody. Lime Juice is still here, tucked in the smoke. Eventually it'll dissipate. Eventually they'll be exposed, and they go down. Granddad swings around the back of this offense, but they find themselves pinched in between multiple attackers. Able to get 1, but not before going down. And on the backside, Ultimate trying to push in. 1v4 here. Gets 1 up front. Has to worry about the flank. Time ticks down, 30 seconds on the clock for them to interrupt Scanner. And as they drop off their flank angle, Screwin peeks out. Offensive point on the board for Asterix. 1 apiece in our new half. Honestly, a pretty close series so far. You look at the KDs. The spreads there. Fighting every inch of the way here on DNA's side. We saw Ultimate able to get rid of Sandy in this position pretty consistently. They go down now in it as well. Lime Juice finds 1, can't connect with 2. Granddad on the other end picks up a kill. Nice nade over the top, catches Aff as they come flying out of the hatch there, and now it's a 2v2. Full HP on both sides. Scanner being held by Silent. Alex picks up Screw, and so now it's just Silent on site. Oh no, in Silent Platoon. A really nice slow rotation here. And I like this swing to B side. I gotta wonder if it's being read. Did a fake out? Is the audio a fake out? Do they now hear that there's Alex here in this mid defending?
30 seconds remaining.
I like that nade attempt, but not quite. Silent is gonna challenge. They're gonna be both battling it out on the top floor of A. It goes to Silent Platoon. Or excuse me, Alex.
Starting.
Oops. And DNA keep it to a 3-point lead. Solid defensive hold there. We'll see if they can pile on now. Put up a couple of consecutive ones in a row to bring us closer to a tie. Meanwhile, Asterix just 2 away from snagging map 1 in this best of 3. And this is it. Do or die. Lose here and your season's over. Half comes flying in from the back. Screwing. Able to pick up that kill. In the smoke and chaos, Alex catches one. Pops out for more and scoops up Silent Platoon. Can they get any more as the smoke dissipates? Scanner's already been planted. And on the backside, Sir Ultimate comes in for reinforcements, catching the rotation that was going to flank them. And it does leave just Sandy alone in a 1v2. Solid pickup from Sir Ultimate. Allows for the scanner. Interrupt, and that 3-point lead gets chipped down to 2. I think it's the least it's been so far.
Round starting. Get ready.
This half, actually. So, solid job from DNA to stay locked in. Like I said, they need to put a couple of consecutive points on the board here. That's the real challenge. Their Ultimate able to get out of their defensive position, not before losing one on defense up through the mid, though. Sir Ultimate is tucked in here. Just a few inches away from peeking wide and doesn't peek for Silent Platoon. And I like the jump up to the high ground here from Lime Juice. Pops out and catches Silent Platoon. A nice kill there. Scanner's going down right behind Lime Juice. They're going to try and play it a little bit differently as they wait for Alex to reinforce. Not necessarily swing up through that mid and instead drop around to the outside edge. Oh, and on site the trade comes in with Scanner down and no one alive. Asterix, the attacking team, will take the round. Almost clutched that one up on defense, but it's going to be map point for map number 1 in this best of 3 as Asterix attack. Barrels is on site. Nade's coming in heavy. The Screw-In picks up one. Everyone's stacked up here, and as they pop out, Alex finds 2 in the chaos. Stacked up heavy. The swing wide here. They're surprised to see Sandy on the edge. Lime Juice trades down with Screw-In, and we're down to a 1v1. Sandy unfortunately put themselves into a bit of a tough spot holding Scanner, and I feel like Lime Juice is in the perfect spot. Neither of them know this, obviously, or have necessarily specific details, but I imagine Lime Juice anticipated Sandy jumped off. Ooh, and might catch the rotation. Does. They see the swing. 45 seconds. Sandy now, what do? Do they commit to the rotation B? They've been shot at. Wow, and both of them doing the exact same thing.
30 seconds remaining.
Good read here from Lime Juice to not overextend back to that B site. Or at least it was, until Sandy then redirected back to B. A nice fake out with 15 seconds left. Scanner should go down, and it's going to come into a retake here for do or die for Lime Juice. He's actually taking the outside approach here that should run in to Sandy. As Sandy's tucked in here, they're going to hear these footsteps. It's going to put him out in the open. And Sandy connects. Asterix take map number 1, 9-5 in this best of 3. DNA inch closer and closer to having their season over with, and that thought has to be ringing in their head right now. A hard-fought map 1 on Frio, might I add, not Suna, has now led us to this. Number 3 seed versus the number 5 seed as Asterix lead the series. Like I said, I feel like this is maybe the best series to take us to a best of 3 if there ever was one. Frio, an off-meta map, maybe? I don't know. I feel like I very rarely see it picked. It's the first time it's been picked in this postseason. So, you know, I feel like as long as they give the go-ahead from me, we may just dive right into map number 2, which I am very curious where it will be. Is it going to be more of a comfort food? You know, a map more familiar, a Miru, perhaps. Certainly not Kitty. Oh, but another map we don't have the intro prepped for in the package. It is map 2 of this best of 5, or best of 3, excuse me. But it is going to be on Cliffside. Little warm-up time here as we do settle in. We've got on the defense Team DNA with Alex, Af, Granddad, Lime Juice, and Sir Ultimate. And on the attack, on Asterix, Ferals, Mushroom, Sandy, Silent Platoon, and Screwin'. Let's crack on in to round 1 of map 2 in this best of 3. If DNA lose, their season's done. Asterix move on to go up against Relentless EU in a loser's bracket matchup, best of 5 next weekend. And a big push, a site here lands for Asterix. Thinking on multiple kills. Granddad comes flying in, one hand on the pistol, catches some good damage and a kill. Alex comes in. And Af on the sides. The duo trying to harass and pinch in on this remaining attack. Sandy catches Af and it leaves Alex alone, so now the trio can stack up. Scanner does go down, and Alex has to push the 1v3. Yeah, it was a solid triangle spread there, a solid triangle of death. You know, as soon as it was entered, they were doomed, and a good pickup there from Screwin'. You go and hang out in the lounge for a little bit. Do a little dance. And get ready for round number 2. Map 1, 9-5. Map 2, 1-0. Opening lead here for Asterix with a little momentum in their favor. They are on the attack, so they set the pace. They have the ability to set that tone. Is it a fast, chaotic series again, like we just kind of have with Frio, or is it going to be a little bit more slow, methodical? Definitely taking it a little more slow here on their approach towards what seems to be A site, but maybe it's a lingering scanner in the back to see if they decide to rotate B or A. Either way, Screwin's pushed up deep through the mid. They're going to catch this rotation out nicely. Lime Juice goes down. And as they extend out, they may run into more. Right here on this lane, and it's going to be Alex catching shots with the bolt action, no less, for a kill there.
Scan started.
Scanner did get planted by the duo, and the pop-up from Ferals cuts off Sir Ultimate on the rotation. Alex comes in flying through the smoke and catches one onto Mushroom. A nice quick scope there. Puts this into a 1v1 just like that. Blink and you'd miss it. 1v2, excuse me, as Sandy finds two. Silent Platoon still alive on the corner there, rotating back towards Scanner. Af with an opportunity to pick up 2 kills here. Gets the first, knows where the second is. Has to get hand on Scanner and tries to one-hand the shots to Silent, but can't.
Scan complete.
A close attempt, a decent effort. DNA fighting hand in hand like they have every round, getting this down to those 2v1s, 3v1s. But not coming through in the end. And now map 2 with a 2-0 lead goes to Asterix. On the attack on Cliffside, I feel like... Well, Cliffside, actually, I don't know. I think it's almost maybe 60-40 offense. Granddad with a big swing, catches one. Sandy doesn't takes half HP as well. Ooh, and a nice nade from Ferals. Putting themselves right back into the advantage. Lime Juice trying to fend off the mid rotation. Getting smoked out of collapsing back for their team. Really good utility use here from Asterix. Plays like these will certainly challenge Relentless EU, so I look forward to that matchup if it's to happen. It's certainly looking like it could be in the cards this afternoon. For next weekend, at least. Lime Juice recognizing the rotation around back. Catches Screwin nicely. Good timing. 2v2 on the front line here. And another good kill from Lime Juice. A double from Lime Juice. On site, they're pushing, collapsing into the smoke. And they're not ready for one to pop out of it. In the chaos, Alex connects and can interrupt the scanner in time. I think so. It's going to be close. There's going to be about 2 seconds left. And DNA stopped the bleeding. Put up a defensive point and a nice, solid double kill there from Lime Juice to find that first one, swing for the second. Dives into the smoke and ends up getting killed, but Alex at least catches that frag in the chaos. And B-Site got shut down. But the push coming in here again, Granddad, recognizing it's coming in fast, tries to slow it down with some utility. Alex opens things up with a big kill on the Screwin up the middle. This may put a pause on the advance of Scanner down through this side, as we now see Half on the back line trying to get utility out. Mushroom up from the front trying to clear out the ability for their Scanner to rotate B. And sees 3 alive and well down that main lane. Wants the challenge for a multi-kill, but ends up getting swung by Af, and everyone's down.
Round starting.
Quickly tying things right back up 2-2 in map 2. Like I said, I feel like this could be a map 3 series this afternoon. Both teams very close in overall skill. I think a lot of it comes down to momentum, and if DNA can get a little bit of a get ahead here on defense, the side swap may leave them with some options. Change of pace. They did this play at the start of this half, round 2, and now they're redeploying it here in round 5. Alex is a little more wary of the rotation from screwing up through the middle, though. And these early kills all continuously leading into DNA's hands. Scanner's coming in. Nice rotation. Lime Juice finds the first. Rip. Sir Ultimate scoops up the second. And now Lime Juice has pinned the third. Sandy goes down. Scanner is dropped in Mushrooms alone in a 1v5. A flawless defensive round so far from this DNA squad. We've now detected Mushroom, but time is the real enemy of this DNA squad, of this Asterix team. Mushroom gonna be forced to push. Gets knifed by Lime Juice. Sure, why not? We'll replay it. And the 5v1 leads to a 3-2 lead to DNA. First time they've had the lead all series. And I like the change of pace here coming in from Asterix. It's a much faster and more aggressive A-side push, but it's getting shut down entirely by Alex. Screwin finally gets the refrag onto Alex. Grandad comes barreling in as Sir Ultimate pecks Sandy up from the side, and Grandad finds the final kill. A denial of entry. 4-2. DNA extend the lead. And what seemed like a good setup but didn't lead to Scanner Plant. Asterix had control over A. We're in A site nicely, but trying to secure it, they found a lot of trouble. And ultimately really good rotations from DNA to challenge that. Looks like they may try it again. Yes, they are indeed. Lime Juice is here. Only finds one for their trouble, but one is still decent. 1-for-1 trade. And like they had last round, Scanner is actually down in the back. The most important trade was the Scanner in the backside. They never went and grabbed it. Now they have to rotate around while they fend off this retake. And they do fend off the retake, but it's a lot of time for Alex to get set up and get back into a position to try and clutch this thing up. 1v3. Low HP on Mushroom, barely even held together. Barrel's also at half, so Screwin gonna be the main element of this defense, and they'll actually find that kill, so good hold from Asterix, bouncing back, not letting things get out of control. They had 2 in a row, and then that was 4 unanswered points in a row coming in from DNA, so had to stop the rhythm a little bit, and they managed to do just that on, again, another good A-side push this time, even with the Scanner going down in the back and them having to rotate back to get it. That could have been even faster play if they hadn't needed to do that. Ooh, and Af springs the trap for a double kill. Shuts down Scanner on sight, and there's no chance. Unless it's an awesome 1v4 clutch from Sandy. Things are going to get very challenging here. Actually, pretty good damage across the board onto the DNA side. Half HP for a lot of the players. Oh, and just like that, 2 go down. Make it 3, the triple for Sandy. They're trying to clutch the 1v4 as Af is alone and tucked in, waiting for Sandy to be exposed, waiting to catch this kill. And those shots come out a little early. Sandy swings out. Now they're in a peek and battle over site. Scanner's down. Af doesn't need to push. They are going to get caught by Sandy, though, and it's the clutch, the 1v4. They tie it up on Asterix side, 4-4. And we swap sides. Take another look. Absolute massive triple kill there. Cannot believe Sandy clutched that. I said that was going to be near. That was basically done. With Scanner down at B, there's no reason for it to even be that close, but Sandy continues to find some kills in the pistol round now as we do swap sides. DNA on the attack, and so far manages to get into Scanner pretty well. In the chaos, in the smoke, Screw-In catches 1-2 Sandy with another on the back line, and then the cleanup in a trade. The interrupt goes to Asterix, and they take the lead 5-4, map 2. Back in control of the series, and back on the hunt to end this best of 3 in 2 maps. Trying to knock DNA out of regular season contention, out of this postseason tournament. Ooh, Screw-In's going for a little motorcycle ride. Little BMX action. Ooh, and Sandy. A nice start to things here. Gets a triple kill with the nade. Makes it 4. No. Is on site, though, trying to hold things down. Lime Juice catches a kill with the frag. Puts it into a 2v1. Af, without Scanner in hand, has B-site control, but can't do much with it. So they made it to B. Now do they go back for Scanner and then bring that back to B? Seems to be the play, and as they swing out, they run into some resistance, get chunked down to almost 1 HP. Does manage to grab Scanner, and now he's going to try and rotate A side. They have plenty of time, 55 seconds left. Silent Platoon anticipating that the B side push is coming, but it is a rotation A. Maybe they're recognizing that potential. A moment now where maybe DNA can clutch up here as Af, low on HP, has to pull something miraculous. Silent Platoon catches the cross. A good hold from mid. Asterix 3 away from taking the series. And the losers bracket series here too. So DNA get a loss here. They're knocked out. Their season's done. No more chances, no more opportunities. And Asterix move on to challenge the #1 seed, 11-1 on the regular season, Relentless EU. That's what's at stake here this evening. That'll be a best of 5 as well, and that will be next weekend. Sandy scoops up 1, makes it more, 2, no. Af shuts that down, swings into sight now. Lime Juice with Scanner, pushing over towards A, and Af picking apart this defense as they try and rotate back. Absolutely drawing and pulling them towards B site for Scanner to get planted A uncontested. 20 seconds left. Not a lot of time. Has to be a full commit here. One down. Nades come in. Mushroom catches one. 10 seconds left. And a nice patient play from Alex. Did not overextend. Did not allow the opportunity for a rifle challenge. Forced the hand onto the scanner because time was ticking. Safe play as DNA try to tie this thing up. They want back in the lead. They want to push this to a third map. So do we. Good 1-for-1 trades here. The advantage stays into the hands of this asterisk, of the DNA squad on attack. Sandy and Farrell's on a long rotation to try and connect with the outer edge of this offense. Lime Juice tossing a bit of utility to try and slow things down. Catches Farrell's out as well. Going to be a major thorn in the side here of Sandy, but they'll find the kill and open up the opportunity to be a overwatch down onto site while Mushroom pushes in. They get picked off by AF, and now Sandy's alone in a 1v3, and it looks like a clean hold for now over A side. I said that last time, and then look what happened. The 1v4 came in. Time, though, definitely not going to let it happen this time. Bit of a faster push into sight. DNA doing a better job holding things down, and ultimately we're tied up in map 2. 9-5. Map 1 in favor of Asterix, and now on Cliffside, after we get away from the close quarters of Frio and get to a little bit more, a lot more long range. Seems to be a little bit more even on that playing field. DNA in a bit of a role here on attack, may be able to string something together. Mushroom going to be that front line of defense here. A Silent Platoon catches an early kill. Mushroom pops out for one. On the hunt for more, but misses the cross down from AF. AF able to catch Sandy out, shutting down one of the key shooters. Alex caches Mushroom, and now A site looking a little bit more open. The rotation coming in from Farrell's gets picked off by Lime Juice. Screw-in still on site, trying to hold down A from getting pushed in and collapsed on. Silent Platoon with Overwatch. And I like this play here from the duo. Really doing a good job of denying entry of the scanner onto site.
Seconds remaining.
And they have to push up for that scanner. Screw-in catches another. Alex tries to catch shots over the top. Can't. And now a timer advantage goes into the hands of this defense just like that. Asterix back in the lead. A really solid round picked up there. I caught another cat. Gruen trying to catch the entire offense here. Gets Grandad trying to jump peek. Catches Af trying to throw a nade. An absolute menace to this offense here on the front line. Picks up a triple. Mushroom on the backside. Everyone alive and well on Asterix on the defense. Taking them to map point unless Alex has anything to say about it. The 1v4 staring them down. They've got a 17-8 record so far on the half. Or on the round, excuse me, on the map. They're not going to be ready for this quick rotation here from Silent. They will trade down to put another one on their KD, but it's 18-9 and they're 3 rounds away from a win, 1 round away from their season being over. That's got to be ringing in the back of their minds here on the DNA side. And deploying a bit of a split here, 4-1, trying to have Sir Ultimate bait out and draw that defense over to A side, I imagine. An opening pick for Sandy. Utility comes in and, you know, A side, of course, wide open, in control of Sir Ultimate. Scanner now rotating, and Sir Ultimate's position could be advantageous to deny defensive rotations here. Oh, Silent Platoon catches a nade from downtown, instantly shutting down their hold of A. And after the rotation towards A, they think, well, maybe not A. And start to collapse back towards B, but now they have to worry about Ferals, who's worked their way up. And should be hearing the rotation. Catches out, Lime Juice trying to swing wide, and Scanner goes down. The nade catches the kill. Ferals scoops up another, and Asterix in 2 maps secure themselves a Series W. They'll advance on to go up against Relentless EU, so it'll be number 1 seed versus number 3 seed. And we'll see what Asterix can do against Relentless EU. Ascendancy beat them in the winner's bracket yesterday, so we'll have to see what a best of 5 looks like between Asterix and Relentless EU tomorrow. Or excuse me, not tomorrow, Saturday, next weekend. Same time, same place. I think we actually have the semifinals matchup, or maybe we'll do the loser's bracket matchup first, then semifinals second. So 2 best of 5s Thursday, and then 2 best of 5s, yeah. Or 2 best of 5 Saturday, 2 best of 5 Sunday next weekend. You're not going to want to miss that action. It's the grand finals for EU, the best of the best, duking it out for a chance at that prize supplied by Axe Labs, the developer of VAIL and the constant supporter of VRML. They've been always there for the esports scene, and they are contributing in a really unique skin, custom designed for the winning team, by the winning team, and sold in the cosmetics store, where a portion of that revenue share gets given back to the winning team. It's a really cool opportunity that's only possible because of Axe Labs and their dedication to the esports space. So a big shout out to Axe Labs for coming in and supporting the VAIL VRML esports scene. It's really great to have them and have their support. It's been fantastic, and we look forward to more seasons down the road, especially with VAIL and how competitive it is. We've seen some great games so far this weekend, and there is more later today. NA starts at 2 p.m. PST, and there will be 2 best of 5s there. I think those are going to go maybe to at least a map 4. I think we had 3 map best of 5s yesterday, so we'll see what we get today. But that starts at 2 p.m. PST. Do not miss it. That'll be it for us here on EU this weekend. Like I said, next weekend is the semifinals, losers bracket, and grand finals matchups. Appreciate you all stopping by. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. Until next time, stay classy. VAIL VRML is brought to you by XLab, Exclaim, Helga, the esports manager, HyperX, ProTube VR, VR Cover. Thanks for watching VRML.